All right, Brackday Howard, Brackday Howard Shine, Brackday Howard, Brackday Howard Shine, Cowfly Howard, Brackday Howard Shine, Brackday Howard Cockadotch, the one the elder pastor, great most of rule will, consider tight taking the oxygen and pushing the truth. I call to four corner of the earth to the fair and power, how about Howard Shine, as a hook will let. Now, when they started taking to the Israelite foreigners, and shalom to the sisters and families, as soon as the gospel preached on the whole world, peace and mercy unto you. To the world inwardly called God, and named Yahweh. To the world inwardly called Jesus Christ, named Yahweh Shai. And we're the Hebrew Israelite that consist of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and those in line of Senate. Go back to one of the 12 tribes of Israel due to the scattering amongst the nations. All right, Maharia called for the Great Military Los Angeles camp. The article the brother shared is from the Los Angeles Times. Running out of options, California resort to water cut off as drought worsens. All right, because we have a severe, highly severity of drought, out here on the West Coast. All right, California is looking hella dry. All right, because of the water drought. All right, especially the last couple of summers, this summer been so hot that it's literally killing the soil. All right, it's so much heat that it's like it's overcooking and drying out the ground out here on the West Coast. All right, and on top of that, no rain. So it's like the perfect combination for the perfect drought. All right, and it's all orchestrated by the Heavenly Father Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shai. All right, on the left hand side, he started doing these things through what you want to call weather modifications, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's all doing of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. The California water regulators took unprecedented action this week, passing an emergency regulation that will bar thousands of Californians from diverting stream and river water as the drought worsens. The State Water Resources Control Board voted unanimously Tuesday to pass the emergency curtailment order for the Sacramento San Joaquin Delta watershed. The watershed encompasses a wide swath of the state from the Oregon border in northeastern California down into Central Valley. The regulation would give State Water Board the authority to issue emergency curtailment and require reporting on water use will go into effect about 2 weeks from now, subject to approval by State Office of Administrative Law, with the issuing a formal curtailment order to follow. It said who is impacted by the decision. About 5,700 Northern California and Central Valley water right holders, who collectively hold approximately 12,500 water rights, will be subject to the forthcoming curtailment, according to Eric Ekdahl, Deputy Director of the State Water Board Division of Water Rights. Once the regulations in place, further curtailment in the Delta watershed may be issued as the situation progresses. All right. Basically, those in the Northern and Central Valley is farming. All right, agriculture. Okay, what's gonna have effect on the what? Crops. It's gonna have effect on what? Lack of food, lack of produce, lack of producing. It's gonna therefore what? A famine. All right. The order will largely affect right holder using water for agricultural irrigation purposes, though some municipal, industrial, and commercial entities will also be affected. The regulations carve out an exemption for health and human safety purposes, meaning that water for drinking, bathing, and domestic purposes won't be subject to curtailment. It said what prompted the decision. Bottom line, if there isn't enough water to meet competing demand, the curtailment are necessary according to the State Water Board finding of emergency to avoid catastrophic impact to reservoir storage needed for human health and safety and other purposes. With all this going to come to a major, this is just the beginning, all right? Regulators need to drastically reduce the amount of water being diverted from rivers and streams to ensure that enough water remains for essential purposes and that those who are diverting are doing so legally. All right. I'll put the article in the link in the description box. But all of America gonna be dried up. All right, for the prophecy. It's Isaiah 19. Not that one. It's in the Egyptians talking about America. It's so-called white people. All right, the Edomite will I give over into the hand of a cruel leader, a lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord. And the Lord Yahweh shall try to host, and the water shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up. And they shall turn the river far away, and the brook of the fence shall be empty and dried up. The reed and flax shall wither. All right, so the agriculture, all that could be dried up. The paper weed by the brook, by the mouth of the brook, and everything thrown by the brook shall wither, be dripping away, and be no more. Okay, we'll also go into the other stuff as well. All right, but that's the point I wanted to get. Everything will be dried up eventually. All right, but it's gonna result to a famine. Okay, it's Matthew 24. We're in that time. All right, for prophecies. It's Matthew 24:7, which means that Yahweh is soon here to come back. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and we're seeing that taking place. And there shall be famine, and pestilences, and earthquake, in diverse places. All right, so we mentioned the famine there. All right, the lack of bread, lack of food. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So these are just the beginning of sorrows or things to take place, prophecy rise. All right, so all these things are going on for prophecy sake. Okay, which was talked about. All right, the lack of food. All right, how about outside is bringing these weather phenomena, as you would say. All right, pursuant to Isaiah 29:6. Okay. So America is failing on every level, all right? Morally, spiritually, health-wise, education-wise, food-wise, entertainment, everything. America is failing, okay? And this is just the decline of the American empire before the Lord come back and destroy this place by fire. All right, but for now, everything being systematically destroyed. All right, everything you went up to the face. All right, and Obadiah that I will bring you down. So you've been on the decline. Think you have reached the pinnacle of your empire. All right, Esau. So you gonna be all this gonna fail. Okay. Ain't no bringing back, revitalizing America. Ain't no bringing back the agriculture here. Ain't no bringing back the abundance of produce. All that is gonna come to a halt. All right, the venture shall fail, as the scripture would say. Now, I ain't gonna make this video too long. Wanted to make that point. So with that, shalom.